Okay, so this is a tutorial for MMM Geometry 04 Proving Triangle Congruence, okay? So these are the practice questions. So let's look at the first practice question, question 1, okay? Are these triangles congruent? So we are referring to this triangle, okay, and this triangle. So you see that there are two triangles. We are trying to determine if they are congruent, okay? So let's call this triangle ABD, and this is triangle DCB, okay? Referring to the 3 points, okay? ABD and DCB, okay? So let's put in our statements. As I said before, always look at the diagram first, okay? Look at the diagram first and find out what is given in the diagram already. So for instance, if you look over here, there are two curved strokes already. It's already telling you that these two angles are congruent, okay? So let's write that down. So we can say angle ABD is congruent to angle CBD. Now, notice, okay, that the middle letter, okay, refers to the place where the lines, okay, make a point or make the angle. So for instance, for this angle, okay, the lines meet here at point B. That's why you have A, okay, B, D as the angle, okay? There you go. Now, look at the other one, CBD. C connects to B, okay, and B connects to D, okay? That's why it's called angle CBD. The B is where the lines meet to make the angle, okay? So angle ABD, angle ABD is congruent to angle CBD, and the reason is it is given, okay? When you see it in the diagram, that means it is given, okay? So let's clear up the lines here, okay? Now what else is given? So let's look at this one. We again have two, okay, strokes over here. So that means those two angles are congruent, okay? So how do we label those angles? So we have A, D, and B. So angle ADB is congruent to angle, okay, CDB. Okay, this one, CDB. And notice again, okay, the middle letter is where the points meet, and both of them meet at D. Okay, and why is this true? It's because it is given. Okay, as you can see, I will erase my notations. There it is. There are the strokes, okay, over here. Okay, so that is why it's given. Now, the third thing, so we now have, okay, we now have a congruent angle, another congruent angle, okay. Let me use another color for that so that everybody will see, okay. So we have an angle here and another angle here. So remember, you need 3 statements to be able to determine if the triangles are congruent. Why? Because you have the congruence theorem, remember? Side, angle, side, 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 angle, side, angle, 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 side, and RHS. As you can see, there are 3 things you need to look at. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But right now we only have 2, so we need to look for one more. Okay, and so we can say that this line, okay, and let's call it line DB, is congruent to line DB because of the reflexive property. Okay? Reflexive property means if there is a shared side, okay, then that side which is shared is congruent. And as you can see, okay, this triangle, okay, is sharing line DB with this triangle. That's why it's congruent, okay? So now we have a congruent angle, another congruent angle, and a congruent side. So, is triangle, okay? Now you ask yourself, is triangle ABD congruent to triangle BCD? Okay, so let's look at the evidence. Let's look at the evidence. Okay, so we have a congruent angle over here. Okay, let me just use a highlighter instead. A congruent angle there. And then we have a congruent shared side over here. And then we have another congruent angle. Okay, so what do we have? Congruent angle, congruent side, congruent angle. So look at your choices over here. Okay? Which one does it match? Angle, side, angle. Remember, if you're doing angle, side, angle, the congruent side must be in between two congruent angles. Okay? So we can say for certain that triangle ABD is congruent to triangle BCD because, okay, yes, because of angle side angle theorem. Okay? So let's go to the next question. Okay. Let me just change this yellow to a nicer color. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, now look at this one. This one is relatively easy, okay? You can already see there's one stroke. So what does it tell you? It's saying that those lines are congruent. Okay? Now there's another 2 strokes. Okay? So those 2 lines are congruent. And then there is 1 curved stroke each. So it's already telling you that those angles are congruent. Okay? So let's start with our statement. Let's start with line AB is congruent to line FD. Why? It's given. Why is it given? Because you see it in the picture. Okay? So our next statement, okay? Angle BAC is congruent to angle EDF. Why? It's given. Why is it given? It's already there. See the stroke? It's in the picture. And remember, see, A is in the middle because A is the point where the angle is made. So you call it BAC. Okay, and same here, DEDF, because this is where the point where the angle is made, where the 2 lines meet. Okay? And then what is the third statement we can make? Let's do the 2 strokes. Line AC is congruent to line ED. And the reason is it's given. You can see it in the picture, okay? See, 2 strokes, 2 strokes, okay? So, is triangle ABC congruent to triangle DEF? Yes. Why? Because you can see we have a congruent side, congruent angle, and a congruent side. Okay, so again, remember your triangle congruence theorem. Side, angle, side, 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 angle, side, angle, 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 side, RHS. Okay, so side, angle, side. And whenever you use the side, angle, side, you have to make sure that a congruent angle is in between two congruent sides. So it's side, angle, side, and there you go. Side, angle, side, and that is the reason. Yes, triangle ABC, okay? Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF because of side, angle, side theorem, okay? Let's go to question 3. Are these triangles congruent? Okay, again, focus on what is given. We see that there are one stroke, okay? So that means those lines are congruent. There's 2 strokes there, so that means those 2 lines are congruent. So let's write our statement, okay? So line AB, okay, why did that become red? Line AB is congruent to line, okay, line BC. And the reason is it's given. It's in the picture, okay? Next, line AD is congruent to line DC, okay? AD, DC. Why? Because it's given. Why do you know it's given? It's in the diagram, and there are strokes to prove it. So again, we need a third statement, okay? Because again, side, angle, side, 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 angle, 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 side, RHS, okay? So let's look at this. What is the third statement? Aha! These 2 triangles are connected to each other. And so we can say that line DB is congruent to line DB because of the reflexive property. Okay, and remember, reflexive property means that if 2 triangles, okay, triangle ABD and triangle DCB, there are 2 triangles, and what happened? They are sharing the line. So a shared line means it's congruent, and therefore it's because of the reflexive property. Okay, so let's look at what we have. Okay, so we have one set of congruent lines, another set of congruent sides, and the third set, the shared lines. Okay, so we have side, side, side. So the question is triangle ADB congruent to triangle BCD? Yes. Which rule? Side, side, side. Side, side, side. Okay. Side, side, side. Okay? So this is questions 1 to 3. I'm going to do the next set of 3 questions, questions 4, 5, 6 in another video. Okay?